Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sachinandan Dotto from Eco Learning. So today we'll discuss about the marine ecosystem. Marine ecosystem is a vast topic. So today we'll discuss about the introduction of marine ecosystem, and later we'll discuss the different topic on marine ecosystem one by one. So first of all, we have to see the structure of the ocean. The structure of ocean, here you can see the whole zone of the ocean from the highest high tide zone to rest of the open ocean is called the pelagic zone. This pelagic zone is also divided into two parts. One is the neritic zone, that the shallow region, that is the continental shelf region, and the rest of this thing is the oceanic zone. In this oceanic zone, according to depth, it is also divided into five more zones. What are these? These are the epipelagic zone, that is the first 200 meter, and then mesopelagic zone, that is the 200 to 1000 meter depth, and then abyssal pelagic to 1000 to 6000 meter depth, and hedal pelagic, that is the 6000 meter depth. So it could be beyond the 6000 meter depth. The highest depth in the ocean of the earth is the Mariana Trench in Pacific Ocean. It is almost 11,000 meter depth. And in the benthic zone, that's the division about the pelagic zone. But whenever we look at the benthic zone, it is also divided into five zones. From littoral, that is the basically a intertidal zone, so highest high tide to lowest low tide will be play in this zone. So if we ask the definition of beach, so beach is the zone from where the highest high tide to highest low tide, that is the zone that is called the beach. Okay. And sublittoral zone, that will be continental shelf region. Then the continental, this is the slope region, that continental shelf and the continental slope. In continental slope you can find the Bethel region, that is also 2000 meter depth, and abyssal region, it is the most largest zone in the Benthic province, also 2000 to 6000 meter, and the Hadal zone, that is greater than 6000 meter. So that is all about the structure of the ocean. And here is one of the more important thing is the, according to light, this pelagic zone is also divided into three zone. First 20 meter is called the photic zone. That is the photic zone, where the light will be sunlight will be come to the upper surface of the ocean. And below this depth, when the light will be dim or very low, that is called dysphotic zone. And beyond that, almost 2000 meter, and beyond that, that is whole the zone is called aphotic zone. A means absent, so there will be no light, so that is the aphotic zone. So this is all about the structure of the ocean. Next, we'll see the categories of marine ecosystem. So marine ecosystem, you can find the coastal region. So coastal ecosystem is divided into estuaries, salt marshes, mangrove swamps, rocky beach, and sandy shore, that we have discussed the previous video, that the mangrove ecosystem. And then in the open ocean you can find the coral reef, in not in the open ocean, also in the near to the coast you can find the coral reef. Coral reef is the most productive and most colorful ecosystem on the planet earth. And the seagrass ecosystem and open ocean, that is the less productive, one of the less productive ecosystem on earth, that is the open ocean. Let's see the rocky shore beach. So rocky shore is there will be lots of rocky shore in India, that if we see the Vizag beach, if we see the Kanyakumari beach, if we see the Goa, and the west coast few part of Mumbai is also a rocky shore beach example in India. In rocky shore beach you can find the most dominated species are the sea star will be there, you can find sea urchin will be dominated, and sea anemone is also dominating in the rocky shore beach. And you can find hermit crab, it's important species in rocky beach. Then the shore crab, it is also an important in the rocky beach. Then lots of kelp forest and sea grasses and sea latuna is also found in these are the lots of algae will be associated with the rocks in the rocky beach. Then in during the high tide you can find the periwinkle, lots of mussel, barnacles is everywhere. Barnacles is everywhere in the attached with the surface of the rock. So this is the whole rocky beach of the marine. Whenever we go to the sandy beach, that the whole community structure, whole the diversity of the animal is totally changed. Here you can find most dominated is the crab, and lots of silver side species, fish species, and the lots of mussels, white sand macuna, sand dollar, moon snail. That is the dominating in the sandy beach. And you can find few burrowing species like the mole shrimp and the ghost shrimp in the burrowing habitat. And sandpiper is one of the most common fish, common bird species in the sandy beach to eat the shrimp and the lots of invertebrate in the beach. And you can find out the peanut worm, calm lots of, and the beach flea and the tiger beetles in the low tide and high tide zone, that is the beach region. So that is the sandy beach ecosystem of sponges. And medusa is also a mobile phage of the sponges. So that is the calcium carbonated body. These are the all the calcium carbonated body. And zooxanthellae algae is give the color, food, and oxygen to polyp and to this environment also. Now we have discussed the different depth-wise different life on the marine ecosystem. So in different zone-wise, in basically in continental shelf region, that is the estuarine zone, you can find the turtles to lots of algae species to lots of seagrass, sea anemone, sea cucumber. They are associated basically in continental shelf region. And seahorse, and in the deep ocean, on the open ocean, you can find the lots of zooplankton or phytoplankton species, is huge species, and their huge biomass is also found in the open ocean. And you can find the shark, you can find the tuna, marlin, and this flying fish, and the one of the most largest animal on planet Earth, that is the whale, blue whale. And in the little depth, and that is the Bethel zone or the twilight zone, where the dysphotic zone, you can find few species of shrimp or prawn, and then octopus, and few deep species, deep sea species, fish species. And this sepia and the loligo and the octopus is also found in this region. And beyond this, the abyssal zone or the darkest zone, you can find very interesting type of species. Still now the day by day new species is identified, new species is also explored from the deep of the ocean. So there is a very new species is coming day by day. Here they are very dangerous to see and look like very dangerous, and they have totally bioluminating because the light will be not there, and their shape is totally due to high pressure, their shape is also suppressed. And so that is very interesting to see the deep sea animal. And if you look at the marine ecosystem food chain, then it is very interesting food chain on basis of other ecosystems. So here the main producer is the basically a phytoplankton, and also the lots of algae and bacteria is also the main producer of the marine ecosystem. And they also eaten by the mesozooplankton to mycozooplankton and to micronecton also. And this mycozooplankton and mesozooplankton is also eaten by the mycozooplankton myconecton. And then this myconecton and the zooplankton is also eaten by the lots of fish, small fish species. Small fish species is also eaten by the medium fish species, and they all are eaten by the top predator, that is the shark, then the tuna and the blue marlin. And blue marlin is also eaten. Blue marlin doesn't have and shark doesn't have any predator on the marine ecosystem, but tuna is eaten by shark and blue marlin. So this is the whole complex food web or the food chain on marine ecosystem. Then if we see that whole marine ecosystem as a whole, so here the thing is the harvestation or the fishing is coming most important in the marine living resources. So marine living resources is the fish is the main thing. So that fish is harvested by different types of boats and different sizes of boat, and different all kind of fish we are harvesting, and they are also interconnected to each other to through their predator interaction. Small fish eating the medium fish eating the large fish. So and they are also, all the fish type is also harvested by the different types of boat. And they also their food is also zooplankton, and zooplankton is also eat the phytoplankton as their food. So and where the main sources of energy coming from the sun, and due to photosynthesis the main source are from this phytoplankton. And so this is all about the whole marine ecosystem as in a snapshot. If we look at the services provided by the marine ecosystem, we divided into two parts. One is the ecological services, one is the economical services provided by the marine ecosystem. And ecological services is the main thing is the climate moderation. So climate is totally controlled by the marine ecosystem due to the process of long run climatic processes, that the El Nino and La Nina, that is control of the world climate. And it is one of the most CO2 absorber or CO2 sink marine system is also CO2 absorber. So it's absorb the CO2 as a bicarbonate and store it on the deep of the ocean. And it is also nutrient cycle. It's cycling the all the nutrient of different nutrient that are coming to the leaching or coming to the runoff from the river. And it is also used as a wastewater treatment and dilution the all the pollutant and diluted the river input to the industrial to the domestic sewages. And it has storm. It reduce the storm by barrier, as we discuss in the mangrove ecosystem lecture, that how the mangrove is act as a barrier, as a preventer, or act as a protector for the shoreline. And it gives the marine and terrestrial species a home of the lots of thousands of species. And it's maintain the genetical or biological diversity of the planet Earth, and lots of scientific information on giving from this marine ecosystem. And in terms of economic services, it provided the food in terms of basically the main source is the fishery. Fish is the one of the most important source of the protein that coming from the marine environment. Then the animal and pet feed, the fish milk is also coming from animal and pet. They are also taking the fish milk as their food. The pharmaceutical industry have a huge source of their product from the marine environment. And lots of port and harbor routes is also, we can establish the port and harbor, the main transportation or aquatic transportation through the marine ecosystem. And it is the coastal habitat for whole, so in human population. So almost the 40% of the planet Earth, the population lived between the 100 kilometer of the coastline. And it gives a recreational tourism, ecotourism, provided the world favorite destination is come under the marine beach or the marine ecosystem. and it gives the employment of the millions of millions people who are reside along the coastline. And it is also the offshore oil and natural gas source, mineral source like manganese nodule to lots of minerals is also coming from the marine ecosystem. And the building material is also coming nowadays from the marine. So marine ecosystem is the next resources we have to exploit next. So because as the land resources are going to be end in recent future, so marine is the next. So but there will be lots of threat on the marine ecosystem. So first of all, that the oil spill is a very biggest threat on the marine ecosystem. It's called a ecological disaster. So due to the marine oil spill, lots of animals or fish they are dying due to this oil spill. Then the marine is also act as a dumping ground. So whatever thing you put into the marine, okay, then it's degrading lots of waste material. And overfishing is one of the most threat to the marine ecosystem. And bycatch is also a biggest threat to the marine ecosystem. And due to the climate change or due to the ocean acidification, that is also a problem and now a big problem to the marine ecosystem. Then population displacement from one place to another place, and the mangrove destruction, it is also a cause of decline of the threat to the marine ecosystem. Then bycatch, I have already discussed about the bycatch. And whaling is also there. Then the coastal erosion, then the huge catch or the exploit the resources. And the global climate change, the El Nino, La Nina, and the cyclone, all the things also the threat to the marine ecosystem. But to mitigate this threat, there will be lots of law regulation is circulate law regulation is implemented by the government of India, or also internationally lots of law like laws of sea, that is the international laws for sea. And in India government there was CRZ notification, coastal zone regulation, first introduced by Ms. Indira Gandhi in 1991, and it is also recently amended in 2011. And there will be hazardous waste management and handling rule, that 1989. Then environmental impact assessment notification 1994. Then biological diversity act 2002, Indian Port Act 1908, Indian Fishing Act 1987, Coast Guard Act 1978. So these all the rules and regulations are for the protecting the marine ecosystem. So now just a single slide I give a little bit about the Indian coastline. So India is a huge coastline. It's coming from the Gujarat to Bengal, so it's a huge coastline. So around 7,500 coastal kilometer we have a around 2,000 kilometer wide exclusive economic zone. So exclusive economic zone means 200 nautical mile from your coast. So this is the EEZ. So we have a huge EEZ that is also covered our the whole system. That is a huge EEZ, almost 2000 square kilometer. And Indian coastline support around 30% population of India within the coastal zone. And India is the seventh largest marine fishing nation in the world. And due to the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea is a rich fishing ground in India. So that's all about the and that's all. Thank you. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep your finger to the bell ring to take feature upload from our channel, that is Eco Learning from Home. Thank you all.